We are here today to announce that the Justice Department has secured felony guilty pleas from the world's largest cryptocurrency exchange, Binance.
Actually, it's Binance.
Binance.
Binance. Largest virtual.
Binance.
Binance. And let me be clear. It's Binance.
Binance.
Binance. Council has discussed crypto regulations and legislations at length, and we have come to the conclusion that instead of regulating, we are going to ape a fat bag each into laptop and pump it to over $1,300,000,000,000,000,000,000,000 market cap. Let's fucking go, crackheads.
Good morning, everyone, and welcome back to another episode of the Crypto Morning Coffee. I got my coffee locked and loaded, ready to go, because we are ready. We're ready to fly for Bitcoin, and we are going to look exactly what has to happen next, what is happening at the moment for making this next leg up possible to potentially $100,000 per Bitcoin. And why it is actually looking good, but also what are the risk factors here. And we have some news about Solana. So Solana is coming out right at this time with a couple of things that is interesting as well for all that are really working on some Solana trades here, or Solana investment, DGen investing on Solana and so on. And then also we're going to talk, as always, about Ecomi and VeVe, because I think there's also a couple of things to talk about. But we will see how it goes today. So stay tuned all the way through. So good morning to all of you guys. Welcome to the chat. I see there are a couple of people here, so I ask you kindly, by the way, let me adjust the camera. I ask you kindly to smash up the like button right now. There are already 10 people here, so that is cool. If you smash the like button, it will be more, so the discussions will be even more exciting. But let's see. Let's have some hodler talk here on this nice sponsored screen by all the rare hodlers. Trucking Hank is here. GM, let's go and send the rocket, exactly. Booth 777 says, what's up, hodlers? I just got off my OMI off Bitforex today. Congratulations, that's awesome. Great to hear. And you're not the only one. I have already also in the rare hodlers group another person said that they got their OMI back. So exactly what we were hoping for and what we were reporting on is actually coming true, that it's only taking a longer time, but in badges people getting their stuff back. So if you still did not receive OMI from Bitforex, then it can take even longer, but hopefully you're getting it. So a lot of people have already gotten back their Ecomi. Jasper Frank also here, good morning. Big A, GM, just popping in for a second before bed. Okay, so let's get this started so that Big A can at least get something back. Okay, so Bitcoin. This is the weekly chart. We are green here, and as you can see, we are sitting at crucial overhead resistance within this bull flag. But before we are going into higher time frames and actually see what's going on, let's look at the daily at least and see what is happening. So in the video, maybe you go even in the 4 hourly, something that we usually don't do. But in the video about the FOMC meeting, like right before, I talked about how they're probably going to do some kind of a whipsaw pattern, which actually happened. So the price came up hard. Corrected down to liquidate some longs, and then came back up again. So this happened, but what I was not expecting was that the market right at the Fed interest rate cut did react so sideways, right? So there were several, I think that it was like 12 hours of sideways before it really took off. So this was strange in some way, but on the other side also good. The next one is we had this trend line here inside of this flag, this one, and obviously once this was broken, or once this trend line broke, we did pump nicely, and we're still in this move. And overall, the move is expected, as we have explained in the last videos and also Crypto Morning Coffees, to go exactly here to this upper line, and that would also mean that we take out this high. And this is crucial, even more than going up here. This taking out this high is crucial. Why? Because if you look at the previous performance of these lows, right? You had a sequence. Let me put this a little bit together. You had a sequence of lower lows, so a downtrend, right? And every bull flag is basically a downtrend, and also lower highs, right? So downtrend, fine. But you have this wick as an absolute low, and you have this wick as an absolute low. But look at this. So you have a downtrend, you don't want to follow this after a while. You actually want to come up. So here we have a higher low. So this could be a trend reversal if we take out this high. So if we can break this, maybe not this weekend anymore, we will see, or maybe even today we can, right? So the time frame is unknown to us. But if we can break this, maybe even in testing this here, right? And then move sideways here and go for our breakout. This would be the ideal scenario, and it might actually happen. Who knows, right? It might actually happen. This is the daily chart. On the weekly, we see it even better. And there are a couple of things on the weekly that are actually happening at the moment that are looking good. And by the way, I have to explain that the break of this 200 and more day long bull flag is crucial for the continuation of our bull run, right? So it can take, it doesn't matter if it takes, if this is a weekly chart and we are hovering 2 more weeks on the top side before we break it, that is not a problem at all. That's not a problem at all. But if we fly off, it also means that we are going to go to some, by the way, here we have the markers of our outrageous predictions, but we will come to that a little bit later. But if we fly off, it would basically mean, and this is something that we can do, so a small target on breakout. Actually, are we in the logarithmic? Just quickly, I have to check. Because if we are, then this does not... Okay, there we go. You can't do this in logarithmic, otherwise you get like outrageous targets, which make absolutely no sense. So you see here, this measured move is not the same on the normal. So you go here, you go here, and then you go with the move, the breakout here. I have to get rid of the, not get rid, but put the predictions here to the side that someone had. We will look at this later. And you get a target of roughly 80,000, right? If you do that. So you see this here, right? So this wherever you break out, I mean, the longer it takes for the breakout, the lower this target is basically, because this stick goes lower. But on the other hand, and this is the craziest, you also have this flag, right? This flagpole. And if you would, I mean, you can take 2 flagpoles here. You can just take this one, but I think this is more realistic. And if you take this flagpole and you put this flagpole as a measured move, then you get a target of roughly 100,000, right? Where is this here? 98,800 or something, which would be realistic. Because getting to just under 100K and then having a bigger correction or so, that is absolutely something realistic, right? But let's go with this one. And by the way, so if you make outrageous predictions in this chat, it's fine, but I'm going to save them also in the comments, right? So we had this guy, Health Wealth Gurus, who said in the comments multiple times, price is worse than 2022 bear market. Wait until you see the streets this week. This was 18 days ago. And also many more, like remember the 5th of September, then a couple of days ago he said that the Fed now put the nail in the coffin. But yeah, I don't know. I hope he's all right. I hope he's all right with this. And yes, I mean, we have also talked about the potential of a crash, right? Of a potential crash following such rate cuts. Yeah, but let's look first at what is going on here from an indicator standpoint, because this is actually something that is, indicators are about to flip bullish. It will take a little more. So the TSI on the weekly is about, on the weekly, right? The monthly is telling us if we're in a bull bear market or what. But this one is telling us if there is a bigger move, right? So you see this bear cross here, basically directly on the halving. So this was here. And from that bear cross, we basically went into this prolonged correction of 23% until the point where we were now. And now it's coiling up again, right? So hopefully this green move continues. We can flash bullishly, because look at our previous TSI bull cross. It was exactly here. This is the TSI bull cross, and from the bull cross, it's very powerful. We did all the move up here, 172%, right? So let's just say this happens, right? Will we get another 100% move here, which would take us to 120K? At least our target is at 98K. We don't know. But at the same time as this is looming, we already have our stochastic RSI telling us that something's going on, which is probably not a fake out this time, but who knows? And that is this bull cross here, right? So weekly stochastic RSI bull cross happening. We had some fake outs here, right? And this is where I told you also that this bull cross is only valid if it's inside here, basically, or it's a higher likelihood that it's valid and not faking out if it's inside the blue zone, right? So what we need is that this orange line comes in this blue zone. And this requires us to go sideways or higher at this point a little bit longer. It's probably going to take us 1 or 2 weeks to confirm this bullish move. But then the momentum would be to go all the way up here until we cross over again, right? So yeah, basically that is what would be expected also for this move. Yeah, so we're coming to this later. Hi there, hey. Also, Patrick Bultman, GM, MVE, GM, Mercy received. I want everyone's money. Let's go. I mean, this is the game. Single player PvP in a big arena will not only have one winner, but maybe winners, right? Or many winners. By the way, what is this? Oh yeah, that was the Fed press conference. So clearly the market perceives it more bullish than bearish. And yeah, this so far so good, this analysis. There's more to look at, and maybe even looking at what is going on with the market in general. So what is necessary in the monthly, right? So what you don't want to see is a bearish cross on the TSI on the monthly, right? And you see that it's not as steep incline anymore of this blue line. So if we would actually pump here, I think we would have many more months of bull run before us. If there is something happening now, economy-wise or so, we crash, we could actually print this bear cross. But this is the monthly chart, and it will take us at least a couple of more months to confirm this. Also, nice would be to see, we have talked about this, how this is very bearish, to have this move, like this bear cross here and the move into this zone, right? So what you want to see is a turnaround like here. Like in, and this was, if you look at the chart, this was, this turnaround was in the C crisis. You cannot see it anymore on the non-logarithmic. So let's go back to the logarithmic, where you actually can still see how deep this C crisis correction was. But last time we were moving like this, it ended with a flash crash, and then we came back up. So hopefully this time it's just ending here. And then we come back up for our final leg. Oh, I forgot one thing on the weekly though. I want to show you the RSI, because I think there's something super interesting in that. And that is in the RSI, and that is the potential break. It's of a big trend line, of a 200-day long trend line, and that is here, right? You see this down below. So we see this. Let's shrink it a little bit. So let's put it actually on full screen first. So you see this, and basically what we're talking about is this. Okay. So this is a very long trend line with a lot of confluence, right? So here, 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 all touch points that rejected us in this bull flag and brought us back down to critical levels, right? Now you can see it's broken. And if we close this week, even if we close this week a couple of thousand lower, it's very likely that this RSI is going to be a significant break. There might be a test or something like that, but then we go. And is this something that we've never seen before? No, obviously not. We also saw this here, right? And in this case, I think it was something like this. Yeah, I don't know, like fake out or whatever, but you get the idea, right? In this case, this trend break, like this reversal, basically was the end of our bear market, right? So a huge turnaround. So if you look at this, at these points where we came off of something like this, for example here also, right? Downtrend here, and then break, and then another move to the upside brought us to our second top here. So it's definitely something that can indicate that the next move is upon us. It's actually coming right now. Very likely, right? But again, to remind ourselves, what we want to see is a higher high in this chart, the break of this upper trend line, a cross on the TSI, a confirmation of the bull cross on the stochastic RSI, and a confirmation move on this RSI breakout, right? But you see the indicators, they are all flipping bullish at the moment. So it's just a matter of time until they also go back into bullish mode on the monthly chart. At least that is what's most likely. But let's look at some news. So interesting, this came out on Forbes. BlackRock reveals it's quietly preparing for a $35 trillion Federal Reserve dollar crisis with Bitcoin. Predicted to spark a sudden price boom. Now, this is obviously something that got interpreted into this, but I mean, we know already. If you were subscribed to this channel, you would know that we were looking at this $35 trillion Federal Reserve. And I wouldn't say that it's necessarily a US dollar crisis right away. But there are only two options. Either there will be these discussions again, like debt ceiling. Will you raise the debt ceiling? They have no other choice to either default or raise the debt ceiling, right? If you raise the debt ceiling, you can make more debt. But on the other hand, also, you're going to treat the interest rates that are 3 billion per day in the US with the financial bazooka, right? So, and that will just increase global liquidity. Now, Larry Fink also had something to say about this, so let's listen to this. It's less than a minute, but I think it's cool to listen to this.
I believe Bitcoin is legitimate. I'm not trying to say there's not misuses like everything else, but it is a legitimate financial instrument that allows you to have maybe uncorrelated, non-correlated type of returns. I believe it is an instrument that you invest in when you're more frightened, though. It is an instrument when you believe that countries are debasing their currency, debasing their currency by excess deficits, and some countries are. I believe we have countries where you're frightened of your everyday existence, and if you have an opportunity to invest in something that is outside your country's control, then you can have more financial control. And so I'm a major believer that there is a role for Bitcoin in portfolios. I believe Bitcoin.
Okay, so I think this is great because again, just as the video that we watched last week of Michael Saylor, Larry Fink also points out that this is actually like Bitcoin is now something for people that are risk averse, right? And Michael Saylor in last video said Bitcoin is basically the financial instrument if you want to invest without counterparty risk. So and this is exactly what Larry Fink points out here. You have with these governments and what they're doing, you have in the cash, in financial currency, you have a counterparty risk because they are printing. If they are printing the counterparty, then you lose money due to inflation. So they're financing it on your back. So there are obviously countries where this counterparty risk is way higher than other countries, right? But on the other hand, also now the US and also the other Western countries, they are belonging to a higher risk group than 10 years ago, let's say, right? And people see this and people feel this risk actually turning into reality. We saw it right now in the last couple of years, how price increases that most generations did not know yet have actually hit the market and affected them, right? So yeah, Sven says GM 37 viewers, bull run incoming. Yeah, absolutely, 37 viewers, and please smash up the like button. If we can have 37 likes at least, this would be amazing. So please do that for me. That would be great. If you get value out of these streams, if you enjoy the streams, then please smash up the like button. But this is basically, yeah, this is a good sign for the bull run, right? That you have more people watching than usually. But also this is just the beginning. Also in that sense, once altcoins are going completely nuts, you will see what's actually happening. Also, this thing is coming out of Germany. So there's a bank. It's called Commerzbank. So Commerce Bank, basically. And they are offering now Bitcoin and crypto trading to their 11.8 million customers, right? That doesn't mean that every one of these 11 million will do that, but the mere possibility now is obviously bullish, right? So that is good. And I think it's good news that you have more institutional offering and adoption for that. Also, what is happening now is that institutions are no longer aggressively shorting Bitcoin. CME futures net positions have declined by 75% in the past 5 months. So with this bull flag playing out, the institutions, they get that very likely there's another move. And that they are shorting. So yeah, I know everyone wants more, but at some point the next leg has to start. So Justin, sorry, but the time is running out. Also, if we look at a little bit at returns here, you can see like the last runs. I mean that there's no run from here from the halving. It would be strange, right? So the whole move here is basically missing, right? The most exponential rally for Bitcoin is still missing. It would be very unusual. It's not impossible, obviously, that we are dropping just into another bear market based on super hyper financial crisis, but it would be very unusual. And at the moment, there are not really like a sufficient signs to it to say that we do not get this last leg. Even if we would get a rate cut based crash, as some people are saying, then this crash could be in 4 or 5 months when we already had this move, right? It's not always guaranteed that everything happens exactly the same time as it did before, right? Justin says VeVe shadow banned me on their socials. Oh my god. A PogChamp, I guess. But also in the comparison of where we are right now in this move, right? So you see like here on the scale, we have how many days you have until the halving. And as we all know, around 500 days to the next halving, is the best time to buy. You see this here, right? All of the like, if you would just buy in DCA along this line, you would have the perfect entry. But also, roughly 500 days after the halving is where the most tops have occurred. Okay, so now we are 152 days after the halving. So this would actually mean that there's another year to go, right? If we really have that much or that many, so that many days left. So you see that we are just between last and two runs ago. We're just in between. So it would be absolutely normal to rally here, right? Just slightly, just as we did, but it would be absolutely normal to rally here and to go into our expansion phase. And it would be also absolutely normal if that takes another 15 days. Because actually, the average Bitcoin cycle starts 170 days after the halving and peaks 480 days after the halving. Now, we are currently 152 days away, or 153 today. So that leaves us with another 17 days left until we should be, right, going really. But I mean, nothing happens exactly on the same day. And global liquidity is about to spike. And the US elections are 46 days away. Now, this global liquidity plus US elections, this is probably the catalyst mix that is going to spark this, just because the markets, they basically then have certainty what's going on, right? So that is also interesting. And then we have talked about this before, but look at this. Historically, if we would close our September, and there are still 10 days left, I know that. If we would close out our September in the green, every time before we had 3 consecutive green months with nice returns, right? Here it was, after closing in September in a couple of percent green, the October, the Pump Vamba and the Santa rally, they were 28, 8 and 12%, right? That's some nice move, right? That's some nice percentages here. But also before it was like 14, 5 and 30%, 30, 20 and 13%. So you see that more or less the same returns in that area, right? So will we get it again? Who knows, right? But history tends to rhyme, at least. So maybe the percentages are not the same, but overall, if you add this up and you look at at a 50% move or so total, wouldn't be too shabby, would bring us exactly to the 98,000, right? If that would be scattered out over these 3 days. So yeah, what is the blue line? The blue line is the first cycle. The blue line here is the first era of Bitcoin. Basically, that's Bitcoin's inception, and then this is the first bull run that we ever had. And then basically stopped here, and then the orange line begins. Yeah, so this is what it is. Yeah. Okay, so let's get to Solana, because it's also interesting, right? So Solana also shows the sign of maybe it's good to go now. Because we see this massive support here for Solana, right? And it wicked out together, like it wicked out everyone with these 2 wicks. And then it bounces here and it forms a higher low, right? So like Bitcoin, it forms a higher low on the very immediate short term and also in this, right? So there's clearly an uptrend going on here. The flag looks a little bit different to Bitcoin, right? So the question now here would be, you would have a strong move for Solana, for example, crossing this line, come up, confirm this move and go together with Bitcoin, right? So this would be realistic. We will see how it plays out, but Solana has a good time and also some good news. So here we go. Solana is bringing out a new phone, by the way, a new Solana phone, but also Solana Web3 Game Boy, so to say, right? So there is this thing here. Actually, let's get rid of the sound because I don't know if it's copyrighted. But they have this thing here that looks very much like the Game Boy. Very, very much. Play Solana. So apparently this thing is to support some Solana games and whatnot. I think a lot of people will buy this because you remember what happened with the Solana phones, right? So when people bought the Solana phones, they got airdrops of bonk that were literally worth more than the actual phone. So people bought thousands of Solana phones. So maybe you see this also here, this bonk logo. So this could be something to consider. If this maybe gives also like airdrops or something that actually gives you back more than you're paying for this thing, right? Yeah, but this is like this is Play Solana, which is launching this device powered by Solana blockchain. So it's actually not directly Solana, but Play Solana, right? And also, here's a little bit of the top deepened projects by market cap on Solana. So we also see there are a lot of things that are doing really well on top of Solana. So once Solana is pumping, it's very likely that these projects go and pump again. Helium is already pumping or has already been pumping. Render has been doing really, really well. But here you see also the market caps. So there are a couple of things that are on Solana that might be still in the small market caps and that could fly off crazily as well. Like here's the IonNet and the Hive Mapper, Nosana, Shadow, Helium, IoT, whatever, right? So just to give a little bit more about these ecosystems and altcoins, talk a little bit more about it. Now I want to talk, before we go into the market watch here, I forgot to go into one chart, and that is the DXY, which is one of the most important charts. And look at that. Look at that. So here, this is our Bitcoin price as a comparison, but here for the DXY we have this massive move down, and now we have this critical, crucial, multi-year long support almost lost. And we are here in the daily chart. Obviously we want to confirm this on a daily, but also on a weekly, because in the daily we have seen this wicking in before and basically faking in, faking out. Also on the daily, on multiple days. So we really want to have a significant break and a confirmation back test here, something like that, and then we will fly. But you see already, first of all, small double top here, but then also it breaks down, and this is the moment that Bitcoin starts rising, right? So if we lose the support, this multi-year long support, that is the other confluence that you actually need for Bitcoin to break up and rally, right? So here. Can I get rid of this? Yes, for now. So basically, you would have something. Yeah, we topped out here. This is the bottom of our bear market in Bitcoin. So for DXY, and then we were, going like this, losing steam, and at some point we will break. And I think this is the point where we'll break, because there will be more rate cuts coming. So the dollar will lose some value. The DXY will crash probably, as it always does in the bull runs. So here are the last Bitcoin bull runs. Look at this. Where is my Bitcoin here? So here are your last bull runs, right? So here, when DXY actually comes down crashing, the run is going really ballistic. until it finds support and basically DXY strengthens again, right? Here as well, it comes down crashing, bull run is on until it finds its bottom, right? Here it finds its bottom shortly after Bitcoin tops out. Same here, we are already coming down, so don't see this as only it's going to come down. No, we are already coming down since a long time, and the bull run is on since we broke this, right? This is the bottom. You see this? It breaks down, it breaks the trend. This is the bottom, boom, right? Even with the sideways moves and coiling up, Bitcoin is rising, right? So this is this is basically what's happening. And then it's very likely, it's expected that we are going to come all the way down to this support again. And then we will see if it will actually lose support or what. But at this point, so basically we can say that it's very likely good to wait until the DXY comes down to this level to take the maximum profits, right? So that also means if all this move, like this last move here, is in front of us still, coming down from here, then also all of this is still in front of us. Right? So yeah, we will see. But until we want to see confirmation that this actually is happening, so this is definitely something to check out, right? And as we speculated, also USDT dominance is the exact mirror of Bitcoin, so it's coming down. And what we want to have is that it comes all the way down, which is very likely, to this rising channel and then loses support. And then we will fly as well. So everything, all signs are on ready to go, right? All signs are on ready to go. So smash up the like button if you are also ready to go. It's like we are ready also with the global liquidity here. We are not going to go into detail about this. Let's see if I can refresh you or if it breaks my chart. Yeah, it broke my chart. Rip to the chart. But we're going to pull this up in another stream. Gold still rallying, still $10 higher. So gold is another one of these that is just on a tear. The market, and this is crazy. Look at this. Okay, so you think Baby Doge is degenerate? 146%. Look at Nairo. 22x, 23x basically in a week. If you need any signs of the return of bullish sentiment, then it is degenerate coins going hard. Right? Yeah, smash the like button. Let's also look at the top ones, like 1 to 100. So here we don't have that much degeneracy, but also here we have big movers. CKB 68%, TIA 48%, BitTensor 45%, Hex, I have no idea what's going on, but Hex 40%, Sui 40%, Phantom 40%, IMX 30%, everything else, like a couple of things, 20% on the week, right? On the week, not on the day. Jasper asks, how do they determine global liquidity? It's the M2 money supply of Eurozone plus US plus Japan plus India plus, so all the M2s added together is the global liquidity, right? Basically, the global liquidity function basically is all of that. It's basically what money do you have in circulation, and then obviously the different currencies divided by their US dollar value. I think it's divided by US dollar value so that you can make the currencies comparable, right? So if you have the what is the currency in, what was the currency in India? I forgot. It was rupees. Yeah. So like, for example, you have the rupees, then obviously there's the M2 converted into what it would be in dollars, so that you can have one value in $1 trillion for the global liquidity, right? But this is crazy. This is nothing, right? This is nothing. You look at the daily, you still see that we are just in a small move and not a big move. All projects going like 5, 7, maybe 10% on the day. Once this Bitcoin price flies, these bubbles will show 50, will look like the weekly bubbles just on a day, right? So it will accelerate we will see, for example, IMX on a 50% daily move or something like that, right? So this will definitely look different. Yeah, dog with head 11%. So you see that all these like bonk bread, dog with head, they're all moving. So definitely the sentiment is still there, right? The sentiment is still there. Let's also see the top 300 if we have anything crazy. 0x0, Giga, SXP, and Pal AI, and so on. They're all on the move. Like all the AI projects. I think we have on the altcoin stream, we bought AIT protocol. I read this morning that's also up like 30% or so. I'm obviously happy about such a move. Holding this now. So yeah, again, gaming, AI coins, some of the meme coins, all doing well. Now let's look at altcoins in general quickly. So also here, we are at the cusp of let's fly off, right? Because I mean, this is our move. We have suffered a long time with the altcoins, but we are just at the cusp of the move. Now, before you ape into all of your altcoins, I hope like buying the dip is still a thing. But now, if you want to ape, now basically look at if this is going to be a breakout or not, right? The moment this breaks out, we will fly off, right? And then it's going to be crazy. And it's not going to look like this directly, as long as Bitcoin doesn't do this one, but maybe breakout, retest, go, and then impulsive moves or whatever, right? Move like this. I mean, probably more steep, right? More like this. But yeah, this, I mean, you have seen what happened on the small channel here. Boom, right? So now we have a bigger one of these threatening to break to the upside. Probably boom, right? To $1 trillion market cap for altcoins. Definitely. And this is where we will probably encounter resistance. So we'll call up here, encounter resistance here. You will come up here, encounter major resistance here, and then something like this, right? Maybe a 5-wave move up to this or something like that. But definitely that would be then already the altcoin season. Adam Trichak is here. Adam, hey, what's going on? Hello, PDH. Hello, hodlers trying to get caught up. Keeps sounding like we are getting closer to the golden moment. It does. It does seem like it. Also, we are not even in the Ecomi chart here anymore. Let's look at the Ecomi real quick. With all the things that are going on, I think also Ecomi had slightly green day or something like that. But we are still, yeah, this is the week. So it recovered the losses of the week, I think. So, do we see signs of strength? Not really. Not really yet. Did we print all-time lows in the last days? No, we didn't, because we came up a little bit to this overhead resistance. But we're still in a short-term, mid-term, and long-term downwards move, right? So we're still like this. Something like this. Yeah. Right? So we are like this. This is actually pretty valid. You have enough touch points to say this is a trend that needs to be broken, right? So very likely coming up to try to break this, and at some point, if it breaks it, ready for a move. I think with all that is going on, Heider Hay asked before. I was just remembering it. Now you wrote it in the chat. If I saw that AMA. Actually, I came back from traveling yesterday and I listened to the first half hour of it. So there are a couple of good things. I think overall, as far as I've heard into it and as far as I've seen feedback from people, it was a good AMA, it seemed. So questions asked, they let people up that have critical questions, and yeah, it was basically reasonable, right? So yeah. Don't forget OTK for gaming on Solana. Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. Don't forget that stuff. PogChamp, by the way, says Justin. I didn't see some of the comments, it seems. I don't know why. Sorry for that. Yeah, but my thoughts are, I think the first question is basically if they're going to get rid of the OMI token and the utility, which was a legitimate question by Superstar Money. And I mean, Foster, I think, clearly outlined how it is, but also then they kind of confirmed that it's seen as completely separate entities. So one side is the token, the other side is the VeVe app. Yeah, I think we will see how they can execute it and bring this to a level where the expectations are, again, as they were in the last bull run. This is necessary because otherwise no one will buy it, right? So there needs to be this clear cut roadmap. Here's the token, this is the tokenomics, this is the circulating supply, this is how burns will limit it, it's scarce, it's deflationary, and this is what you can do with it. That needs to be bullish, right? Bullish enough. So at some point, then if that all happens, I think there will be signs in the chart, there will be turnarounds, and also maybe and potentially very likely with the start of altcoin season, which is just not the case yet, right? Sven says, I bought more VAT, congratulations. VeChain is looking quite good, in my opinion. So hopefully we'll also get a pump to 20 cents or something out of that next move. That would be great. Yeah, so far for Ecomi. I mean, I will listen to the rest of the AMA. If there's something interesting in it or overall interesting in it, then I will make a video potentially about it. We have seen the burn of the reserve wallet system of the old system, which basically means, okay, now the old system is gone. It's out of circulation for good. That's fine, but it's also nothing that drives the price, right? Dan O says, holding on to my 10 million OMI for years now. I may DCA a little bit more, still bitter about the lack of accountability in terms of the old OMI plan, also restumping and leaving, but I'll get over it. I just wish they'd make a definitive comment. Yeah, I kind of feel the same way, Dan O, so definitely you're not alone. I'm holding my 4.3 million OMI. Exactly, like something like we messed up, we're sorry, let's move forward. I mean, in the end, it's very clear that the token got neglected for years, and this is the consequence. On the other side, there is still the chance to turn this around, and it's necessary, in my opinion, to turn this around because you want to find new people into VeVe via the token, right? You want to have the token be a Web3 vehicle to get what you need in VeVe, right? And to have whales to play. Trucking Hank says, I'm you. I don't know. I don't think you are me. Yes. Every time someone says this, I have to remember this Rush Hour scenes, like, you is blind. No, you are blind. Yeah, that's what I said. I am you. He is me. So Trucking Hank, you're clearly driving, so please, I'm up to 31 million, still bullish. That is nice. 2SMG says, I regret selling my ETH. How did you sell your ETH? What happened? Why did you sell your ETH? I mean, you can still buy something else and ride it, right? I mean, it's not over yet. We have not even broken out of the Bitcoin thing. By the way, in case that the market crashes and everything goes to shit, right? This would be the most fantastic bull trap then, probably, if there's a breakout coming and then it just turns around and everything goes to shit. But nothing looks like it for now. So just, yeah, it's a risk. Like everything in crypto is a risk. And the more you are in smaller coins, the more you are dependent on the project being around, surviving. Yeah. Do you think we can go below 6K? Below 6K what? Bitcoin? Or what are you talking about? Like below what? Yeah, I just sold a little lower. Okay. I want more alts like ICP and crap. Yeah, ICP is one of my better holdings. It's just like a super small portion, but it's actually it's up 70% or so. Buy it back, yeah. I mean, there are so many altcoins. There's so many opportunities, and in the end, it's only take your money and catch a bigger move, right? This is what you're looking for. Look at the chart, look for breakout confirmation, and then you can still make a move, right? This is why I'm not making a move on Ecomi, because I just don't see any breakout, any confirmation, any taking out of previous highs, any break of trend lines. I don't see anything of that, right? And the last bigger move is already, was in March together with the market somehow, right? Was in February together with the market. And then we corrected. So I think the moment that the market is starting to move, also Ecomi will move, right? And then the big question is, will Ecomi at some point break this? If so, if yes, then I think there could be a nice bull run for Ecomi as well. If they fuel the run, once it breaks, once it goes, if they fuel the run with enough news and bullish sentiment, then I think the move can be stronger, or as strong as it should be. But so far, that's not the case. And then once it rallies, I think it will, but once it rallies, a lot of people will try to get out the token the moment that they break even. But then at some point, it will break higher. Some people will FOMO back in or whatever, right? And what I expect is that the users at VeVe that are still climbing, by the way, that they will climb faster, right? Because so this is an interesting story I have to tell you. So these days I was talking with a guy that I know since not so long time, but we got to talk about all this thing like altcoins and the crypto bull run, and he's also much into it. And not often you find people that are a lot into it. So I started to talk about this and also told like about NFTs and so on. And the person said, look, so I have these this person's writing meme coins and trading them and so on, making some good money with it. It's like, look, if I make a degenerate return on this meme coin or on that meme coin or on my portfolio in general, I'm going to look at some NFTs to buy. And that's exactly confirmation on the theory that I have regarding how the money flow is, right? That NFTs will not move until the altcoins are firing and people have bigger returns out of altcoins. And then they're looking for stuff where they can continue, right? And this is like from bigger altcoins to smaller altcoins to NFTs, to VeVe collectibles, whatever, right? So people will be looking around. What can I buy? And people on YouTube will tell, hey, look, this whatever Marvel comic, this NFT, it went from 100 gems to 200 gems in only 1 week, blah, 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 right? So then people will come in with their crypto profits. Also because, let's say you made $1 million and you take 100K and you gamble on these things, right? You still have 900K sitting there. People don't care. They just start buying random shit. And this is where NFTs come back, right? And this is where stuff like that, like VeVe, the user numbers probably are going to climb. We're probably going to see it in these immutable X metrics first before actually the price increases happen. Then probably there's going to be squeezes, right? Like where people are just AFK in their accounts, so they don't list. Also because of the system that is right now, everything's delisted, and then people start buying, and the floor just moves directly to something outrageous, and then more people list their stuff, and so on, right? So it's going to be interesting when exactly the seller exhaustion sets in, but yeah, it's going to be wild. However, 40 people here. Smash up the like button once more for me, please. Yeah, glad I got into the game. I want more alts like ICP. Yeah, exactly. So 40 people, smash up the like button. Now I would say we have very good times in front of us, and obviously I will seize the opportunity and make even more if I can. I mean, we're going to the end of the year, so from time to time I have to travel, like hamster wheel stuff and so on. Next week is one more week, unfortunately, of traveling, where we will not have Crypto Morning Coffee at Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday. But then Thursday, Friday, and also I will see that I can do something this weekend. So make sure to stay tuned, get subscribed, and so on. Smash up the like button for all of this stuff. And there will be more. There will be more coming. It will be fantastic, guys. I have a gut feeling that it will be fantastic. So don't rely on my gut feeling. Perform your own analysis. And guys, I will end it here. So hopefully when I look at the stats, I have at least the 43 likes that we have 43 people here. But wherever you are on the world, have yourselves a great morning, evening, day, night, or afternoon.